believe it. Look at the state here.
I'm telling you, Sean, she were like a thing possessed. Oh, so Tyrone were right about her all along.
But you know what I reckon? I reckon we should go round there and tell her that we know it's her hitting him. Call her bluff.
Oh, you must be kidding. I'm not going back round there with that woman.
Maybe you're right.
No, we have to go to court. We have to show them what she's done. I mean, if she's done this to me.
Just goes to show, doesn't it? Beneath that sweet exterior.
Oh, poor Tyrone. Oh, I feel terrible for not believing him.
Well, don't worry about that now. We've got a trial to stop. What was that?
Listen. Ruby, stop crying.
Why don't you sit down and eat it in here? All that running round, it's going to give you indigestion.
I need to get to court.
Look, I know Tyrone's a friend of yours, but do you not think that it's going to be a bit too stressful for you, you know, standing up there?
I've got no choice. Like you said, he's a friend. I'm going to do whatever I can to help.
I know. You're a good girl.
Anyway, no matter what any of us have to go through today, it's nothing what little Addie and Asher have to deal with. And Paul come to that.
And it's Tony's funeral today.
Yeah.
I saw him earlier outside the Rovers, just standing there, staring at the flowers. I was going to go over, but...
It's heartbreaking.
You know, after it happened, I couldn't get this thing out of my head. Imagine if I was in there when it caught on fire. I actually could have died.
I know. It comes as a shock to you, doesn't it, when you realise you're not mortal?
OK, now I'm anxious and depressed.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Listen, you're going to be fine. Yeah, and if you need anything, you call me.
OK.
Promise?
Yeah, thanks, Anna.
Oh, hey, and watch that blood pressure.
The only way she'd believe it was true is if the police said they'd found kindling in Sunita's pocket and a box of matches in her hands.
Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty?
Oh, for goodness sake.
Grant's right, Mum. Why else would she be in there?
Well, why didn't she just light the fire and get out?
I agree. It don't make sense.
Maybe she didn't want to get out.
Suicide?
Dev had given her the elbow. Maybe she thought there was nothing left for her around here. That was it.
She'd never have left those kids.
But you don't know what state she was in mentally. I mean, she was hardly stable at the best of times, was she? I mean, she had that row with you, rejected by Dev.
She's right, Mum. Maybe it just pushed her over the edge. I mean, look, we're not going to know for sure why she was in there and what she was doing until she comes round, are we?
If she ever does.
Kirsty? I can't hear the baby. Go and check upstairs.
Me?
Oh, for goodness sake, Sean. She won't answer.
I'm not ringing her. Sorry, hello, yes, police, please.
Fizz was my... Mrs. Stape was my friend.
Oh, come now, Mr. Dobbs. You were a little more than friends.
No, she was someone that I could talk to, somebody that I could trust.
And yet not someone that your fiancé approved of.
Kirsty was jealous.
With good cause, it would seem. Exactly when did you begin your affair with Mrs. Stape?
Kirsty slammed my arm in the door.
Could you just please answer the question? I'll narrow it down for you. How long before your wedding day did you begin your affair with Mrs. Stape? Mr. Dobbs?
About 5 weeks. Look, Kirsty was beating me. I didn't...
And you reported this to whom?
No one.
You were being beaten, and yet you failed to report it. Indeed, in an encounter with your former friend Tom Duckworth, on the 30th of August, 2012, at the Rovers Return Public House, you flatly denied it.
Well, like I said, I was embarrassed. I didn't think anyone would believe me.
Why didn't you just move out?
I couldn't leave my daughter.
So instead, 5 weeks before you're due to walk down the aisle, you embark on a relationship with another woman.
I needed someone to talk to. Someone to tell what she was like. This was there for me. We fell in love. It was like I could breathe again.
You fell in love. But isn't it also the case that while you were professing love for Mrs. Stape, you were also putting on quite a performance to convince Miss Soames that you were still deeply in love with her? It's a little dishonest, don't you think? I mean, some might say cruel.
No, she's the one that's cruel. She's a liar. She humiliated me. She made me feel like I was nothing, like I wasn't even a man anymore. I hate her for that. She destroyed the life that I thought I was going to have. You don't hurt the people you love.
No, Mr. Dobbs, you don't. But then you didn't love Kirsty Soames, did you? Thank you. That'll be all.
Katie! Hiya. How are you?
How's your thing?
Okay, stupid question, sorry.
Gotta go.
I'm not the bad guy in this, Katie. I know you want me to be, what?
I know.
I don't suppose I could interest you in some late breakfast.
Wheatie Pops.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Oh, look, it's the happy couple.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cramp your style.
Listen, mate, we were just...
You know what, mate? I know what you were just doing.
I just told you nothing's going on. I was going to the cafe.
You had any sense you'd listen to her?
Yeah, right. You stay away from my son.
Ches, please.
She's in now.
Oh, Brian.
Do we know where she is?
Maybe she's headed for the airport. Ooh, we should get all the ports closed down. Sorry.
But you're right. Action is most definitely needed.
I should go to the court. I should tell her what she's really like. I owe Tyrone that much. What do you think?
I think I'd like to wring that woman's neck what she did to you. But if getting Tyrone off is the legal way of dealing with her... Any sign of her, call.
What? You don't think she'll come back here, do you? Maybe I should just go home.
No, you've got to stay here, wait for the police, OK? Ready?
Good luck.
So is there any change?
Not yet.
Yeah, it will take a while, won't it?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Listen, don't worry about the shop, OK? I've got it all under control, and there's plenty of people that want to help. And Emily's been asking.
And that's really sweet, and thank you for me. You know, Marcus and Maria, they've been great with the kids as well. I don't know how I would have coped if it wasn't for those two.
Dev, come on. You've got a lot of friends on the street. Everyone just wants to help. But you need to concentrate on staying strong for you and for Sunita.
Thank you.
Especially for when she comes round, because she is going to need you.
Sorry to interrupt.
You're not. This is my neighbour, Sophie Webster. Sophie, this is the police.
Just wondering if you'd mind if we had a quick word in private.
I've got to go anyway, so
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Thank you. Right, so how can I help?
Obviously, we're trying to get to the bottom of why Sunita was in the Rovers when the fire took hold.
Yeah.
Do you recall ever seeing her with a set of keys belonging to the Rovers?
No.
Not even when she worked there?
No.
So she was never responsible for opening up or locking up?
No. The family, they lived on the premises.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I know. You've got a job to do, right?
While we're here, do you mind if we look through Sunita's belongings in case there's something that could help forensics? You never know.
Sure. Come on. But you're not going to find anything.
Excuse me. We need to speak to somebody.
We have important information pertaining to a case.
Yes, very important. Crucial.
I'm sorry, but which case are you talking about?
Tyrone Dobbs. He's on trial.
As we speak.
Court 2. I'm sorry, but you can't go in there. It's in session.
I don't think you understand, young lady. This person's evidence could prove to be of the utmost importance. Without it, an innocent man could go to prison.
Name?
Julie Carp.
Wait over there. I'll see if I can get somebody to come and speak to you.
Could you hurry, please? This is ridiculous. Tyrone's going to be in a cell getting changed into his convict's uniform before we get to see anybody.
I think it's more tracksuits and T-shirts these days, but point taken. How much longer are we expected to...
Sorry to keep you. Miss Carp?
Yes.
Brian Peckham, Julius of the Half, head teacher at SS Street Primary.
It's about the Tyrone Dobbs case. The woman who's accused him of violence.
Miss Soames?
She's attacked me.
As you can see.
She's had us all fooled. She's got us all to think that it was Tyrone who was hitting her when all the time she is the violent one. Oh, I should have known that he'd never hurt anybody. This shows what she's capable of. This proves that he's been telling the truth. It proves that Tyrone's innocent.
I fully appreciate your concern. And from what you say, Miss Carp, it would certainly seem that you may have a case against Miss Soames. However, I'm afraid any violence that you may have suffered personally has no bearing on whether Mr. Dobbs is guilty of assaulting her.
But that can't be right. She's attacked me. This proves that she's violent.
And I suggest you consider filing a complaint with the police. I really am sorry, but I have to get back.
But...
You recognise these?
They're not her door keys or keys to your shop?
You didn't notice them among her belongings?
Look, I haven't touched the things. I've just been seeing, I've been waiting, I've just been here. But they could be the keys for anywhere. I don't...
At this stage, we're just gathering evidence, Mr. Allahan.
What are you doing out here?
Just finding it hard being indoors. There's all this stuff at Katie's. I never noticed it before, but now it's like, wherever I look, there's just something to remind me of her.
Sorry, mate.
I saw her earlier with Ryan. They were stood there as bold as brass, just chatting and laughing. It's like she didn't even care if anyone saw them, or if I saw them.
You just got to try and get through one day at a time, yeah?
I know. I never knew how long 24 hours could be. Evenings are the worst. That when you go to bed and there's only you and this cold space over the other end. Thanks, Kirk. You've been a good mate.
No problem.
What time do you finish work? I was thinking maybe the bistro. What do you reckon?
You know, maybe that's not such a good idea after last night.
Ah, don't worry, I'm not going to get off my face again. I just need not to be indoors. 6 o'clock.
Ace.
You're a good bloke. Tell Beth from me that she's a lucky woman.
Better go and get the boss's butties.
See you later, mate.
Oh, I wish they'd hurry up. Hi.
Julie, have you had an accident?
Come to support your mate, have you?
There's no need for that attitude. To answer your question, Hayley, Julie did not have an accident. She's the victim of violence.
I know you're going to say I told you so, and you have every right. I was attacked by Kirsty.
Well, I think that's what they call irony.
I've told the lawyers.
Yeah, it's too little too late now.
I thought it might help Tyrone.
Yeah, and what did they say?
Well, unfortunately, what she's done to me doesn't prove that she's the one hurting Tyrone. Fizz, I'm so sorry. I never should have doubted you.
Do you think there's a reason, Hayley, that they've not called us back in?
Oh, it'll be any minute now, and at least it'll be your friends in the witness box, eh?
Yeah.
Fizz.
Look, Julie, I'm sorry, but I've got better things to do right now than worry about your conscience.
She's only trying to...
Brian, it's fine. It's fine. I really hope things work out for Tyrone.
Do you know the saying, one for the road, came from when prisoners were given a drink on their way to be executed?
Mary?
What? Oh, don't worry. Even if he is found guilty, he's not headed for the gallows. Although, if you ask me, after his performance this morning, he did a pretty good job of tightening the noose around his own neck, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, well, here's an expression for you. If you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Come in here, come on.
I think Tina was really worried about going.
So would I be. It's a big deal getting up in court and having someone question everything you say.
I think it's, coming on top of the fire and everything. That's really shaken her up,
I don't suppose it helps not having much of a family.
Well, I was worried about her. I mean, she don't want to be having her blood pressure shoot through the roof, does she?
I knew I should have stopped her going.
Stopped her?
Yeah, she shouldn't need the stress, does she?
No, but she needed to help Tyrone, and that's not to do with us. She might be carrying our baby, but it don't give us the right to tell her how to live her life.
Well, I just think that
Gary, it just don't.
No. Izzy's right.
All we can do is be there for her. That's it.
Afternoon, Sylvia.
I beg your pardon?
I said you're welcome. I take it you enjoyed the little cake I left for you.
I most certainly did not. And if you think you're going to push your dirty drugs in this establishment, you're very much mistaken, mister.
You must have realised there was cannabis in it.
Of course I didn't. How could I? You and I obviously move in very different circles. In mine, if one is offered a brownie, the most outrageous thing you expect to find would be a glacé cherry or an unwanted walnut, neither of which is designed to turn one into a hopeless, helpless drug addict.
Everything all right, Mother?
Yes, oh yes, everything's fine.
I don't know what you're worried about. All we're talking about is a bit of weed.
Oh, I see we've got all the lingo off, Pat. Wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't got a hoodie underneath that coat. And perhaps the police should decide whether a bit of weed is something to worry about or not.
Oh, Sylvia, don't be like that. All I'm trying to do is help.
Oh.
There's no need to involve the police. Why don't we talk about it? How about I buy us a couple of teas, eh? Please?
I saw the police car pulling away.
Oh, Sally, it's been a nightmare. Kirsty went mental and whacked Julie.
No!
Now she's disappeared with Ruby. But she probably knew what people would think if she can hit Julie then.
Is she okay?
Brian's gone up to the court with her to see if she can help Tyrone. She feels terrible.
Have you noticed Mother acting strangely lately?
No, not especially.
But you do admit that your pain hasn't been as bad.
I admit nothing. And even if it hasn't, it still wouldn't be right for me to put money into the pocket of some Mr. Big.
Oh, Sylvia, there is no Mr. Big. It's just...
I do not wish to become an accessory.
You know, some of the other ladies at the 1 o'clock club are taking it for their aches and pains. Why don't I bring round a little sampler, eh? Gratis, of course. And then if your pain does flare up and you think it might help...
That won't be necessary, thank you, if you'll excuse me.
I'll say one thing, Sylvia. You're a woman who knows her own mind. I like that. Take care.
Me and Tyrone used to be housemates.
And why did that arrangement come to an end?
Because she didn't like it.
Miss Soames?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Well, I wasn't happy about it, put it that way.
Is it fair to say that you didn't much like Kirsty Soames?
Suppose so.
Oh, yes or no is what's required, Miss McIntyre.
No, I didn't like her, no.
Is that why you brought an allegation of harassment against her in January 2012?
No, I said that because it was true.
Yet you withdrew the allegation. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, but for Tyrone, not for her sake.
So did your relationship with Miss Soames improve after that?
Not really, no.
No, because isn't it the case that on September the 9th, you were involved in a skirmish at the Rovers Return public house with a heavily pregnant Miss Soames, which caused her to go into labour?
Well, it was nothing. She didn't even report it.
No, she did not. Because she was persuaded not to, under pressure from you and the defendant.
You're making her out to be weak.
Thank you, Miss McIntyre. Now, you claim that the defendant showed you some injuries.
He did, yeah. Where she battered him.
You were witness to this alleged battering.
No, but...
So the fact of the matter is, you have no way of knowing how he sustained these injuries. Miss McIntyre? You have no way of knowing how Tyrone Dobbs sustained those injuries, have you?
Well, no, not like you want.
No, by your own admission. You have a history of animosity towards Miss Soames, isn't that right?
I don't know what you...
You've admitted, haven't you, that you're guilty of an assault against her?
Yeah, but like I said, she's far from innocent.
In fact, your whole evidence is merely supposition born out of animosity. Isn't that right, Miss McIntyre?
What's she doing? Miss Soames, I must ask that you and your child leave court immediately.
I need help.
What have you done?
Nothing. Nothing. Look, she's fine. Look.
Miss Soames, you must leave court or I will have no choice.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
What are you saying? What are you scared of?
What I might do. That I might hurt her. I don't want to hurt her. I don't know what's happened to me. She needs to be with you. She needs to be with her daddy. Please.
No, please, just please.
Please.
Miss Soames, I insist you leave court now.
My daughter needs to be with Tyrone. He'll look after her. He's not a monster. I am.
Well, we're back in Coronation Street in half an hour.